This tutorial is going to take you through some basics on getting started with Google Classroom. So you're going to navigate to classroom.google.com. You will log in with your WSDR4.org account and it'll take you right into Google Classroom. When you log into Google Classroom, if you don't have any classes set up, you're not going to see any of these tiles. All these tiles here are different classrooms that I am either a student in or that I'm teaching. Across the top here, there is a little plus sign. You're going to click that to either join a class, so this is what students will be able to see. If you are a teacher, you're also going to have the option to create a class, and that's what we're going to do today. So we're going to click Create a Class. You are required to give your class a name, but you'll also see you have an area to put in a section and a subject if you'd like to do that as well. If you are a middle school or high school teacher and you teach more than 1 hour of the same subject, I strongly recommend that you make a classroom for each of your different hours. It just makes it easier for grading and for record-keeping purposes. Don't worry, there are built-in tools that allow you to post multiple classes at once. So here I'm going to make an English 3 class, and this is going to be my 3rd hour. When you click Create, it's actually going to take you directly into your classroom. And we'll walk through the different sections in the classroom and how to create different kinds of posts in your Google. So now that we're inside of our English 3 3rd hour class, which you see the title of it right here on the left, there are 3 main sections to a Google Classroom: Stream, Students, and About. We're going to start with About and work our way into Stream. The About section is a place that you can put different resources or materials. This section is really a place for items that you're not changing out often. So if you wanted to post a syllabus here or post your vocab list or something that's not going to change that students would need to access all year round, this is a good place for it. This is also where you would go if you wanted to invite another teacher into your classroom. So if you have a CWC or a co-teacher, you can click Invite Teachers, and that teacher is going to have the same rights as you to create assignments or make posts inside of your class. The next tab over is the Students tab. This is where you are going to do one of 2 things to get your students into your class. You can invite them, which means you put in their email addresses, or what I typically like to do is have students put in the class code. So over here on the left where you see class code, you can click on the class code. There is a display, which is really nice. If you want to, you can even full screen it. Display it during your class. Have students go to classroom.google.com. Click the plus sign to join a class. They put the code in. They only have to put the code in once and they are enrolled in your class. You can also copy it if you wanted to copy and paste it into an email or display it on a document. You can do that. You can reset it if you don't like the code, and you can turn it off if you don't want kids to continue to add themselves to your class. Once students are in the class, you're going to see a list of them here. You can click on them if you want to mute them, meaning stopping their ability to post. One other important part to look at with students is right here where it says students can post and comment. So by default, it's going to say that students can post and comment. If you want them only to comment and not post, you can change it, or maybe only you can post or comment. If you have it on students can post and comment, that means that students on the stream are going to see a plus sign and they can make a post, like an announcement, just like you can. If you say that they can comment, that means on any assignment or any announcement, they can put a little comment on there to ask a question about it. The good thing is that you can always delete them and you can see who posted what and at what time, so you have a lot of information if students post something that you don't like. Moving on to the stream. So the stream is where all of your assignments, announcements, and posts that you create live. Think about this as a little bit like a social media stream. The newest items are going to be at the top of your stream, the oldest at the bottom. Google Classroom has created a way to help you organize your long stream by topics, and we'll take a look at that here in a moment. In the lower right-hand corner is our plus button. This is going to allow us to create items that go on our stream. So we're going to quickly work through these items. The first one is to create an announcement. So announcement is a way for you to give information to your class that's not an assignment. So it's not something they're turning in, but this is where you can give them a reminder. You can also, what's nice here across the bottom, you can attach something from your computer. You could pull something from your Google Drive, so maybe you have a study guide for them to look at. You can put links on here of places you want them to go and see. Where it says for, this is a beautiful thing about Google Classroom. I can post to multiple classes, so meaning multiple hours at once. So if I teach English 3 a few hours, I can click and post it to several hours at once. And then when I click post, it will go to all of those hours. Before I post, though, I do have to put my announcement in here. So this is where I could say, bring your books to class. And then I can post that. Now, before I post it too, I do want to show you that this topic section allows you to give some structure, some organization to your stream. When you create topics, it's kind of like tagging a post. So if this is just reminders, every time I have a reminder, I can put that as my topic here, and I can click post. Now on the left over here, it's going to show my reminders topic. So as more and more items show up on my stream, students can click and only see the posts that are tagged as a reminder. Down here on the plus sign again, we're going to go to assignments. So I need to give my assignment a title. It's optional to give it instructions. So maybe I want to say practice sheet vocab. I have the option to give it a due date. So if I want to say it's due by the 19th, what this will do is if I do give it a due date, students will see that it's due. If a student turns it in late, it'll mark it as late for the teacher and for the student. So it's easy to know when assignments are due. It'll also put it on the calendar that is built into Google Classroom. I can give it a topic again. So if I want to label this vocab or give it a unit topic, I can create a topic for it. Now here's the cool part. I can, of course, attach a link or pull something from my computer, but the neat thing is if I take an item from my drive, so let's say I have a sheet on here that has a vocab list and gives them some instructions on what to do. So I'm just going to grab something from here. I'm going to click add. Now I have some options. By default, I can say students can just view it, so they can make a copy of it, or they can just have the rights to look at it. But if I click my drop down here, I can make a copy for each of my students. This means that every student in my class who's in my Google Classroom is going to get a copy of it. It'll have their name on it. They can type directly into it. And when they're finished with it, they can click the turn in button and it will turn in right here for me to go through and grade. Again, I can go here and post to multiple classrooms at once. And then I can click assign when I'm ready to assign that. If at any time I need to change anything that I posted, an assignment or announcement, I have 3 dots here that's going to give me the ability to edit it. Clicking my plus sign again, I can also create a question. So if I want to ask kids one multiple choice question, or if I want to ask them one free response question, I can do that. I can also set up with create a question that students can reply to each other. So it's kind of like a mini discussion board. And then finally, I can reuse a post. This is really nice because from year to year or from class to class, let's say I forgot to assign the practice sheet vocab to multiple hours at once. In my other classes, I can click reuse post and reuse the post from this hour. So this allows me to reuse posts from the past. If I use this multiple years, it just saves some time on here. So this was the basics with getting started with Google Classroom, the different things you can create or reuse. There's some more things in here, like I have the ability to change the way this background looks. There's a little bit more with grading, but this is just to kind of get you started inside of Google Classroom.